Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to English Every Day, the podcast that helps you learn real English through real conversations. I'm Emma, and I'm excited you've joined us for another episode.
And I'm Liam. Thanks for tuning in. Today's episode is perfect for beginners. We'll guide you step by step through a typical morning routine using clear, simple English that you can start using right away in your daily life.
Exactly, Liam. We'll cover everything from waking up to getting ready and heading out for the day. Along the way, we'll introduce some useful vocabulary, helpful phrases, and everyday expressions you'll hear and use often.
And for a little extra motivation, we've prepared a special mini speaking challenge at the end of the episode. So be sure to stick with us until the end and get ready to practice your English with us.
Let's start right at the beginning of the day, waking up. Liam, what time do you usually wake up, and how do you feel about early mornings?
I usually wake up at 6:30 a.m. I try to get up early because I prefer to have a calm and slow morning. It gives me time to get ready and not feel rushed. What about you, Emma?
I'm much the same. I typically wake up at 7:00 a.m. Now, let's introduce some useful phrases you can use. Wake up, get out of bed, turn off the alarm, stretch, and yawn, all essential for talking about this part of your day.
Let's see how these phrases work in a real conversation. For example, you might hear, beep, beep, beep. Oh no, that's my alarm. Time to wake up. Then someone else could say, good morning. Did you sleep well? And you might reply, yes, but I'm still tired. I need to stretch and get out of bed.
Once you're awake, the next step in a typical morning is usually going to the bathroom. Liam, what are some of the first things you do when you enter the bathroom in the morning?
Well, I almost always brush my teeth first. Sometimes I wash my face with cold water to help me wake up, and if I have time, I take a shower. These are pretty common actions for most people starting their day.
Exactly. Some key phrases here are go to the bathroom, brush your teeth, wash your face, take a shower, and comb your hair. For example, you might say, I'm going to brush my teeth, or ask, do you use a toothbrush or an electric one?
Right. And it's helpful to remember that we use the present simple tense when we talk about routines. So you'd say, I brush my teeth every morning, or he takes a shower at 7:00 a.m. Practice these sentences to make them part of your own daily English.
Now, after the bathroom routine, it's time to get dressed. This step is important, especially if you're heading to work or school. Liam, how do you usually decide what to wear each morning?
I usually check the weather first, then choose my outfit. If it's cold, I'll pick a sweater or a warm jacket. Otherwise, I go for something lighter, like a t-shirt and jeans. It really depends on the day.
Some useful vocabulary for this part includes get dressed, choose an outfit, wear a shirt, pants, or shoes, and phrases like put on or take off. For example, you might say, I put on my shoes, or I take off my pajamas.
A typical exchange could be, I need to choose what to wear today. And someone might suggest, it's cold outside. You should wear a sweater. Then you could reply, good idea. I'll put on my warm jacket and boots.
Let's move on to breakfast, one of the most important parts of the morning. Liam, what do you usually eat or drink to start your day?
I usually have toast and a boiled egg, plus a big cup of coffee to wake me up. Sometimes, if I have extra time, I'll add some fruit or yogurt. How about you, Emma?
I really love fruit and yogurt in the morning, but sometimes I have cereal or just a cup of tea. These are all great options, and it's helpful to know the vocabulary. Eat breakfast, drink tea, coffee, or milk, and make breakfast.
Remember, when talking about routines, we use the present simple tense. She eats cereal every morning, or we drink coffee before work. Practicing these phrases will help you talk about your own breakfast habits.
After breakfast, it's time to get ready to leave the house. What are some of the last things you do before heading out, Liam?
I pack my bag, check the time, and make sure I have everything I need, like my phone, keys, and lunchbox. Then I put on my shoes and get ready to go out the door.
Some useful expressions for this part are pack your bag, check the time, put on your shoes, grab your keys, and leave the house. For example, you might say, I leave the house at 9:00 a.m. or I check the time before leaving.
A typical conversation could go like this. I pack my bag and check if I have everything. Then someone reminds you, Don't forget your phone and keys, and you reply, thanks. Now I'm ready to go. These phrases are useful for daily routines.
Now is your turn. For our speaking challenge, imagine your own morning routine. Try repeating the sentences after us and then create your own routine using the vocabulary and phrases we've practiced today.
Let's go through a quick sequence. I wake up at 6:30 a.m. I get out of bed and stretch. I go to the bathroom and brush my teeth. I take a shower. I get dressed for the day. I eat breakfast with my family. I pack my bag and leave the house.
Great job. Now, take a moment to say your own routine out loud. You can use phrases like, I wake up at, or I brush my teeth, and I eat. The more you practice, the more natural these sentences will feel.
And remember, it's perfectly okay to pause, repeat, and listen again as many times as you need. That's how you build confidence and improve your fluency with real English conversations.
That's it for today's episode of English Every Day. We hope you enjoyed learning how to talk about your morning routine and picked up some new phrases and expressions to use every day.
Remember, practicing real conversations will help you feel more confident. The more often you listen and speak, the better your English will become over time.
Be sure to repeat the phrases we used today and try the speaking challenge again tomorrow. Small steps every day make a big difference in your language skills.
And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Thanks for listening and have a great morning in English.